In a quiet coastal village nestled against the cliffs of a misty sea, a young girl named Isla spent her days wandering the shores, collecting shells and sea glass. Isla's world was small, her days simple, but the ocean always whispered promises of adventure just beyond the horizon. She felt a bond with the waves, a silent understanding that they held secrets she could scarcely imagine. One cloudy morning, as the tide rolled in with unusual vigor, Isla discovered something wedged between two rocks at the edge of the shore. It was a bottle, its surface weathered and frosted by the sea, and inside a rolled piece of parchment glowed faintly in the morning light. With trembling hands she uncorked the bottle and unrolled the message. The parchment was covered in intricate flowing symbols, like waves frozen mid-dance. Though she couldn't read the strange writing, she sensed warmth and curiosity in the lines. It felt like a gift, a glimpse of something otherworldly. Isla took the bottle home and placed it on her windowsill, where the sunlight filtered through the glass, casting rippling patterns on her walls. The next day, driven by an inexplicable urge, she decided to send a message back. Using her best parchment and ink, she drew a picture of herself standing by the sea, surrounded by shells and gulls. She placed it in a clean bottle and tossed it into the waves, watching it bob away until it disappeared. Days passed, then weeks. Isla nearly gave up hope until one moonlit night she heard the soft clink of glass against stone outside her window. Racing to the shore, she found another bottle waiting for her, its message more elaborate than the last. This time the symbols seemed to flow like water into shapes, stars, fish, and a heart, almost as if they were telling a story. Thus began a silent correspondence between two worlds. Each day Isla would send a drawing, a small token of her life, a sketch of her village, a pressed flower, or a feather from a gull's wing. In return, the bottles brought her treasures from the deep pearls that shimmered like moonlight, tiny coral sculptures, and once a piece of seaweed that glittered like gold. She could feel the personality behind the gifts, playful, kind, and curious. She imagined the sender as someone with a heart as vast as the ocean itself. One evening, as the sun set in fiery brilliance, Isla decided to venture beyond her usual drawings. She painted the figure of a mermaid, a creature of legend she had often dreamed about. She gave the mermaid flowing hair, a glimmering tail, and eyes full of wonder. With her heart racing, she sent the bottle into the waves. This time the reply came swiftly. The bottle arrived the next morning, and its contents were breathtaking. A pearl, larger than any she had ever seen, nestled within a net of delicate seaweed. Beside it was another drawing, more intricate than anything she had received before. It depicted Isla herself, sitting on the shore with a faint silhouette of a mermaid watching her from beneath the waves. The realization struck her like a wave. Her mysterious correspondent was no ordinary being, but a creature of the sea. The mermaid had been watching her all along, her messages weaving a bridge between their worlds. Over the following months, their exchanges grew more personal. The mermaid sent her depictions of shimmering underwater cities and schools of fish that danced like living rainbows. In turn, Isla shared scenes of village life, of her little cottage by the sea and her garden bursting with wildflowers. Their connection deepened, though they never met, separated by the barriers of their worlds. One stormy night, as the wind howled and waves crashed against the cliffs, Isla awoke to a strange sound. She rushed to her window and saw the familiar glint of a bottle lying on the shore. Braving the rain, she retrieved it and found a message unlike any she had seen before. The parchment was covered in swirling lines that seemed almost frantic, as though written in haste. Alongside it was a small, luminescent shell. Something was wrong. She could feel it. The lines spoke of urgency, of a world in danger beneath the waves. The shell seemed to hum in her hand as if calling her to action. Without hesitation, Isla made her way to the shore, clutching the shell tightly. The storm raged, but she pressed on, guided by an unshakable instinct. Reaching the water's edge, she held the shell to her ear and heard a melody, haunting and beautiful, that seemed to echo from the depths of the sea. She stepped into the waves, and as the cold water rose around her, she felt a strange warmth envelop her. The next thing she knew, she was beneath the waves, breathing as easily as if she were on land. Before her stood the mermaid, her scales shimmering even in the stormy gloom. The mermaid's eyes held gratitude and sadness as she gestured toward the horizon, where a dark shadow loomed. Together, they swam toward it, Isla's heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. Though the details of their journey remained a blur in Isla's memory, she remembered the sense of unity, of fighting alongside the mermaid to restore balance to the sea. When the danger passed, the ocean seemed to sigh with relief, its waves calming as if in gratitude. Isla awoke the next morning on the shore, the shell still in her hand and the storm long gone. The mermaid was nowhere to be seen, but Isla felt her presence in every wave and breeze. Though their exchanges of messages ceased, Isla often stood by the water's edge, hoping to catch a glimpse of her friend. Years later, long after Isla had grown, she shared the story of the mermaid and the bottles with her own children, who listened with wide eyes. And sometimes, when the sea glimmered just right, Isla swore she could see a familiar silhouette beneath the waves, a silent reminder of a friendship that had bridged two worlds.